Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions, and a pretty great start to the morning. As of right now, Tesla stock is seeing a nice recovery. It's up 4% on the day. This was after being down nearly 13-14% yesterday, then recovering to only being down 2%. Yesterday, if you guys watched my video, I talked about being down at one point over $20,000 and then being able to make a recovery, and I showed my overall P&L, of course, being down $3,800. So, of course, a red day still sucks, but I thought that was a step in the right direction of not being down as much. I talked about how I balance out my position size. I talk about how I, buy the lows and sell the highs and still hold that overall position overnight. As of right now, Tesla is looking to be a little bit more on the overbought side, which is essentially why I decided to load off on some of my shares. It's not that Tesla has to pull back, but looking at how Tesla has been trading, every time that it hits, some sort of highs, it corrects itself in some form of way. So although I am holding a specific position overnight, every single night, I day trade with about 200 shares additional to those original 200 shares. So around 400 to about 450 shares are being exchanged almost every single time that I take a trade. So like right now, right, I have 280 shares, and it's a little bit more on the overbought side. And as you guys can see, the RSI, the MACD, again, we just use those as references, but you can see that it's a little bit more on the overbought side based off of pre-market highs. Can it continue to push above that? Of course, but because of Tesla and how bearish it's been, I don't want to be hopeful and like, oh, what if it continues to uptrend? Well, what if it does continue to uptrend? That's why I'm holding my 280 shares. But I want to make sure that I have enough money left over in my account that if Tesla does pull back, that I can buy an additional 200 shares to pick them up at a better deal and then ride them back up. And I think that's what I attribute a lot of my success to. And one of the things that I want to share with you is, if I'm not mistaken, about 280 shares at 738 is a little bit over $200,000. And I plan to carry $200,000 up to the point of Tesla if it were to make, not saying that it will, but if it were to make a full recovery. As of right now, we are testing the EMA line on the 4-hour time frame. And one of the things that I want to share with you, and I'm telling you this as someone that's invested in Tesla. So I have a lot of money in Tesla, right? And I'm telling you this as someone that's invested in Tesla. Tesla's been getting rejected from the EMA line, It's been making lower highs and lower lows. I'm telling you this not to encourage you to buy by any means. If anything, it's almost the exact opposite of be worried that it can pull on back and make new lows once again. Again, that's not in my best interest, but I want to make sure that we are not hopeful traders, but we take into consideration what has happened in the past. And that's essentially just it. So as of right now, it looks like it's holding on pretty strong. If it continues to uptrend, then I'll add more to my position size. But I just wanted to make sure that I left enough money in the reserves that just in case it does end up pulling on back, that I can buy a couple more shares. So I'm excited to follow up with that. As of right now, I'm up a little bit over 10,000 on the open, a little bit over 9,000 on the day. Again, this is following yesterday's $3,800, $3,900 red day, right? So make sure you take that into consideration. But from where we're at right now to previous resistance levels, not overall highs, but previous resistance levels, offers about a 20% potential. That's a goal, something to work towards. It doesn't have to hit that. I could potentially sell all now. I could potentially sell all at $800 wherever I begin to indicate signs of a resistance. But the really exciting thing about this is, as of right now, based off of how much I'm up and the profit potential, on average, I have about $200,000 invested almost all the time, right? But at some points, I have nearly $400,000 invested in Tesla. So on average, with a 20% ROI, I'm still going to keep it at $200,000. That's at least an additional $40,000 on top of what I'm already up, which is $10,000. So $50,000 at least is what I plan to make if Tesla were to make a full recovery. Doesn't mean that it has to make a full recovery. Tesla can go in the red, which means that I will actually end up losing money. And you need to take that into consideration, that there are two sides to every single opportunity. And if you think that there's only one side to an opportunity, then you're being very hopeful and very close-minded and not taking any form of risk management into consideration. So I just wanted to make sure that I share that with you guys. AMC was a position that I was trading today. I was doing a really good job, and I actually began trading it up here with very light shares, anywhere from around 2,000 to 4,000 shares, if I'm not mistaken. taken. Once it began to indicate signs of an uptrend, I would buy more. So as it sells off right now, I only have 800 shares, so I can tolerate this pullback. So as it sells off and it becomes a little bit more bearish, then once it finds a support level and begins to reverse, I'll load up on a couple more shares and sell the highs. This is not something that I'm holding overnight. This is something that I'm just simply having some fun with. As it pulls on back, I buy the lows and again sell the highs. And because it fluctuates and moves so much, this is not something that I would encourage for beginners, and this is not something that I would really encourage someone that doesn't know how to manage their position size or manage the risk whatsoever, because this comes at a much greater form of risk, because it comes with a much greater form of reward as well. But altogether, so far on the day, I'm up a little bit over $9,000, approaching $10,000. And I just want to make sure that I do my part, updating you guys, just like I did yesterday on my red day, but updating you guys on my green day as well. And let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Tesla's going to pull back once again based off of the 180-day 4-hour time frame? Or do you think that we're in the very early stages of a potential reversal? One of the other things that I did want to update you guys on, and sorry that I'm all over the place, is I bought a couple more shares of TQQQ. Like a lot of you guys know, TQQQ follows the NASDAQ future, which is the NASDAQ market. And because the overall market sold off, I bought this, which is triple leverage, and based off of where we're at right now, right, to previous highs, that offers a 16% return. So I don't have a crazy amount of shares. I have a little bit under $10,000, and I plan to buy more once it actually begins to indicate signs of an uptrend. There are so many, forget about all the stocks that I'm trading, ignore them. It doesn't matter, right? We all see value in different ways. One of the things that we talked about with our Learn Plan Profit group today is how essential it is to understand the position that we are in as of right now. It's not that the market has to recover a week from now, a month from now. It doesn't, right? But just like everyone regretted not buying when the market sold off here and as it picked right back up, right? Because, everything as of right now has pulled back. And by seeing these good deals presenting themselves, and these are with a bunch of different stocks, do your part in creating an effective watch list of quality stocks that you see value in. I don't have to see value in them. Your neighbor doesn't have to see value in them. They just have to make sense to you. And if you find them to be a good deal, set up a plan on where you plan to buy, where you plan to sell, and where you plan to average up into your position size, right? Based off of once it actually begins to indicate signs of an uptrend. So I'm super excited to follow up with you guys and seeing what stocks you plan to pick up. And if you can do me a huge favor, just so I have a better understanding of what you see value in, comment those down below, and I would love to follow up with the progress of the good deals that you guys end up picking up on. So I really do appreciate you guys' time. Don't forget to stay connected, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I hope that we earned your thumbs up. And if you think Tesla is going to the moon, make sure you drop a thumbs up. Also, we have one of the largest free Facebook groups in the world with over 306,000 members. So if you've been struggling to stay connected in the trading community, click the first link in the description, and we will see you within our free Facebook group. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.